Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue, hosted by that guy with allergies, Mark Francis. Meghan and Harry had a nice, quiet date night. Page 6 reports the pair dined at a restaurant called, wait for it, the Dutchess. An insider told Page 6 they were incredibly pleasant and really polite to the staff throughout the evening. The source said, you never would have noticed the couple. No one approached them, and if people recognized them, well, no one showed it. They shared half a tandoori chicken, in case you were curious. Following conversations with Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, Meghan Markle is more determined to keep her Duchess of Sussex title than ever, according to the Daily Express. Royal commentator Neil Sean cites a source as pointing out that Meghan had previously disregarded the importance of titles, but after seeing how useful Beatrice and Eugenie's titles have been for them, she is now determined to cling on to hers. Sean says Meghan has had a dramatic change of heart regarding titles, adding, Harry and Meghan are very keen to cling on to those royal titles. After much deliberation, Meghan decided that the titles would be a good thing, not just for her, but for both her children too. Meghan became very friendly with senior members of the monarchy, predominantly Princess Eugenie and Beatrice. After this, Meghan realized how useful a title can be, particularly when you want to move in the correct circles. That is the reason why they want to clutch hold of titles. It's really down to the fact that after befriending Beatrice and Eugenie, she saw how useful those titles are to them. Tom Bower, author of Revenge, Meghan and Harry, The War Between the Windsors, suggests that Meghan's refusal to learn the ropes of royal life contributed to them stepping back. Bower explained, Kate had become irritated by her neighbour Meghan, unlike her own cautious approach to learn the ropes before engaging in royal duties. Meghan was running, but what was her destination? And who was she running with? Did she realize that the royal family ran together under the monarch, not as a competitive individual? Kate was quite a shy person, so making speeches and being in public was something of an ordeal, but I think she's overcome that. She reminds me so much of Diana. She struggled for a few years to come to terms with what it is like to be a princess. The great tragedy, I think, is that Meghan and Harry didn't give it long enough to see whether they could give it a go. They were on the out almost before the wedding music had finished. Meghan is a natural. She had the great possibility of using her talent and her position to make a genuine change to the world. I don't think she's going to make such a change living in Montecito. The Mirror reports King Charles left fashion designer Stella McCartney flustered after she forgot how to greet him at a Buckingham Palace reception ahead of the UN Climate Change Summit COP27. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was seen introducing the daughter of Beatle, Sir Paul McCartney, to the King. Charles greeted her with kisses on the cheeks as Stella said, Your Majesty, I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. I think I'm supposed to do this now before performing a deep curtsy and letting out a little squeal, leaving the King and Prime Minister giggling. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Elizabeth Debicki spoke about her approach to portraying Princess Diana in the latest season of The Crown. I went off instinct. I didn't overthink it. I've watched this show and loved it for years. I knew I was stepping into working with people who were extremely intelligent and very sensitive about how they went about creating the script and making decisions, so I never felt like I jumped on unstable ground. Suddenly, what feels like a vast field of information is very quickly, extremely narrowed down to existing within the framework that Peter Morgan has built for you. It was a huge relief. I remember thinking now my responsibility is to bring to life what he has written and his interpretation of these events and these people. I understand what the show is and what it's trying to do. I also understand the reaction to it. I think this is a period of time that's been told many times over and will continue to be told, and I know the degree of care and respect people enter into these stories with. I mean, it is clearly fictional. I feel like audiences know that because there are actors playing parts. I had never watched The Crown and thought, this is a documentary, or this is obviously true. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite shows. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. It's Palace Intrigue. Good times.